Patrick Lencioni, who is a leadership guru and a consultant to many Fortune 100 companies, says that if you can get all of the people in an organization rowing in the same direction, that you can dominate any industry, in any market, against any competition, at any time. And so we take that to heart as an Illinois Chiropractic Society. And so every single year, we get the key leaders for our organization and for the chiropractic profession here in Illinois together. And we begin to look at the opportunities that present, the opportunities that we can utilize to better the profession and better your patients' lives. And this has been a key, and you've seen some of the results of our leaders' hard efforts. And that is, you've seen it in our 18% by 2018 campaign, the Healthier Illinois website that is a patient website driven to create a deeper understanding of the chiropractic profession, the health insurance benefit, the free online and distance learning opportunities that we give our members. All of these things are really as a result of a thought process and a concerted effort to be able to identify opportunities and then also to establish measurable goals that we chase after on a regular basis. Now, my question for you is this: are you doing things like this in your office? And I would recommend that you do. I would recommend that you begin to take time and spend time with your staff to make sure that you fully understand your business model and where you can go and what are some of the opportunities that you could take advantage of. One of the ways that you can do that right out of the gate is to do a simple SWOT analysis. And SWOT is SWOT, and it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And what that looks like is this: your strengths are what do you do well? What gives you a competitive advantage? Now, this isn't necessarily competitive advantage against the chiropractic physician down the road. It could be against any competitor. And sometimes our competitor isn't necessarily the chiropractic physician down the street, but instead might be just simple apathy or misunderstanding. So what do you have? What are your strengths in your office, right? So what do you do great? And write these down. So write these kind of in a grid. It gives you an opportunity to be able to look at everything, right? So write your strengths down. Then write down your weaknesses. What are the things that you could do better? What are some areas that you don't do well? And these are the areas that you look at and identify as these are the areas that we should find ways to improve on. Maybe if you're being truly honest, maybe it's documentation. So what do you do in the next year to be able to improve your documentation? Right now, what else? Now we identify opportunities. Now the opportunities is really interesting. The opportunities are things that present in the environment that actually may be there to help you in your practice. Maybe the area around your office has a lot of different type of sports activities. It's extremely active area, and so what you're finding is that there's a lot of sports types injuries. So is that an opportunity for your office? I don't know. You would have to analyze that and have that conversation. Maybe you've got an elderly community more immediately around your office, and are you finding ways to potentially tackle those opportunities and use them to the advantage of being able to increase your patient population, which, by the way, helps the profession as a whole when we do that ethically, right? And so then the last is threats, right? Threats are the things that really we don't have a whole lot of control over, because the weaknesses we control. Those are things that are internal. Opportunities and threats, those are all external things that are happening, and opportunities are opportunities to seize, right? Threats are those things that we got to watch. We got to watch to make sure that we don't need to utilize our strengths and cover up and repair our weaknesses in order to compensate for those potential threats. And the threats are things that are completely and totally out of our control. So sometimes those threats are really simply things like insurance companies and poor policies, or things along those lines that create threats. But here's my challenge to you. Take some time, sit down with your staff, ask them what they think and what they see as your strengths, as your weaknesses. You may even want to do a survey of your patients and find out what do they think are your strengths and your weaknesses. And ask your colleagues also, what do you believe are the opportunities? What do you think are the threats around my office and for you and for your practice specifically? Know this, that the Illinois Chiropractic Society is really truly interested in driving the profession forward into the future, and we are interested in the success of our doctors for the benefit of our patients. And we want to let you know that this is what's happening this weekend, and we look forward to hearing the results of your SWOT analysis in your office as well. You guys have a great week, and we'll catch you next week.